Alrighty, I'd like to call to order the November 6, 2025 Town of Cicero Park Board meeting. Quick roll call, Dan Strong,
Present.
Mary Devlin,
Present.
Clayton Bell present, Susan Sparks.
Present.
Alrighty, we do have a quorum. If everybody's had a moment to review the agenda, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I so move. I second.
Alrighty. Prior minutes, if everybody's had time to review them, I will entertain a motion to approve our prior minutes.
I so move.
I'll second.
Alrighty. We have old business, gas tank update, and pump replacement.
Not a lot to report on that. We are working toward getting the pump that's still to get the tank replaced over the winter and be ready to go by spring. I made a call today. We currently have just about 1,000 gallons of gas in the tank, and so trying to figure out what that looks like and whether we need to discount sale off what is in the tank and not concern ourselves with profits, or what it will cost us to have it pumped out and put into storage. And I don't have that information just yet, but I hope to within the next couple of days, and figure out how to best handle that 1,000 gallons that's in the tank. So I'll have more on that probably at our next meeting.
Alrighty. Moving on to grant opportunities, the Amy Shanklin contract.
So the last couple of months, we've been working with the council on retaining Amy Shanklin to do grant writing opportunities, not just for the park, but for the whole town. And we finally, last night, got the contract signed, or the agreement between Amy and the town. And Dan and I have a meeting tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock to try to start the ball rolling and get things going in the right direction. So hopefully lots of good stuff to come on that at our next meeting.
Deal. Any comment? Alrighty, moving on to the Haunted Trail.
The Haunted Trail, without giving you exact numbers, I will tell you that they took in over $25,000 in sponsorship and donations. They ended their balance sheet with a profit of approximately $21,700 because they had some expenses, which is, I'm going to tell you, way more than previous years. I think last year they made around $15,000, but they still had some expenses. So they had a lot more sponsorships this year, a lot more people. On the visitor side, we know there were 8,700 cell phones that went through that venue in 2 nights. This time it did include a algorithm to account for teenagers that probably have phones that are in their parents' name and things like that. So they've adjusted that algorithm to account for some of those older kids and to come up with that 8,700. But it does not include any of the younger kids that most likely don't have phones. I think they figure that anybody over 12, 13 years old is going to have a phone. So we know there were hundreds, if not a couple thousand people that were there that didn't have phones. So we can only speculate on what we had, but I wouldn't be surprised if that number didn't exceed 12, 13,000 people over 2 nights. We recognize that it gets bigger and bigger every year, and we're constantly trying to adjust and figure out ways to make it better every year and to fine tune it. We're already, from our meeting last night, we're already planning for next year and things and ways to make it better and simplify it. So more to come on that.
The only thing I can say, it's phenomenal for the community, and I think if we all looked back at when this began, that if anyone had said it would be what it is currently, we probably would have laughed at them or thought they didn't know what they were talking about. But you know, to everyone that's involved in that, you know, Friends of the Park, Lisa Stokes Bear, your team and everyone else has done a phenomenal job with that year after year, and I think everybody wants to be involved because it's run so well,
Thank you.
so.
The only thing I'll add to that is part of the vendor money, I think, I don't know if you folks are aware of it, but when we do the July 4th festivities and other festivities, when vendors come, they pay money to set up their food trucks and things. Even the farmer's market on the weekends, they pay a fee to set up and to use our facilities. Every year, part of that money gets set aside and it goes back into the town to a non-reverting fund. That's how part of that money gets put back in the community in terms of they pay for brochures, for the Lights Over Morris, things like that. But one of the things that also happens is every year I get a little bit of that money to buy no parking signs or to buy things to improve the parks for future festivities. The last few years, we've done lots and lots of electrical upgrades within the park, and so for the last 2 years, we have not had to have any generators in the community park for any of our events, which has been a huge benefit to us. But one of the things we did with this year's money is we spent $6,000 on what I call, and most people know us to be spider boxes. What that did was it allowed us to spread electricity out through the park, and I bought these as portable boxes so I can use them at community park, I can use them at Red Bridge Park for any events. And this is the first year we've had the haunted trail without having to have generators also. So my plan is to expand upon that even more over the next couple of years. But we did it with no generators, which was a huge benefit and helped to eliminate a lot of other problems.
Yeah, I agree with what Dan said. It was a great turnout. And when we moved here the first year, it felt like a cute little event to just go, but it's definitely turned into its own attraction. So great work to everybody on that. If there's no other comment, we will move on to new business. FOP bingo tonight, November 6th.
Not much to say about that, other than we're all set up and ready to go.
Desserts and all. Moving on to the tree lighting and Christmas festival, November 29th.
November 29th, Saturday after Thanksgiving, is our tree lighting ceremony and our Christmas festival downtown, or in the park, which traditionally was downtown. Last year we had it in the park very successfully. We're going to do that again this year in the park. We'll have the parade during the day that I believe was, and don't quote me on this, but I think it's at 1:30. And then we'll move right straight into the festivities in the park. I believe we have the same people who are going to decorate the Christmas tree this year. I've been working for the last couple of months on a really neat North Star to put on top of the tree this year. I've got some pictures I'll pass around in a minute and show it to you. But I've been working with a vendor that wants to sponsor and donate in some capacity more lighting within the park and possibly on the shelter and roof line of the shelter and things like that. So more to come on that, but we're just trying to do what we can to light the place up and have a good time. We moved the Santa house into position this week, and we'll have everything ready to go on Saturday after Thanksgiving.
And I know that we talked about it for the street festival too, but with all the upgrades you have made, I really like these festivals moving to the park. I feel like it flows better in the park than downtown, just with accessibility and a flow rate. So I'm glad that's going to be in the park again this year.
Thank you.
If no other comment, I will move on to miscellaneous. Does anybody have anything to add tonight?
I just have a couple real quick things. This year, we made this, we have to close down our bathrooms at both Red Bridge Park and at Community Park every year for the winter because they're not insulated and we can't keep them open without freezing. That's caused us a lot of problems by not having facilities available. And even though it's not my option of choice, it was the only viable option. This is the first year that we have a porta pot at both locations now, that at least if somebody has to go to the restroom, they've got an option. And while I'm not real proud of that situation, it's better than no facilities at all. But this is the first year we've been able to do it. It cost $1,000 for both of them to have them through March, but I think it's money well spent, and I just took it out of my budget to do it.
Will they be set up to be pumped on a schedule or just call as needed?
I'll pump them out every 2 weeks, and my staff will monitor them in the meantime to make sure they're respected. The only other thing that I have is just yesterday and today, we finally got a camera system installed at the very north end of the park, up by the shelter. That's hooked to the Berrycom Wi-Fi out there, and the public Wi-Fi is now available for people in the park. And we have 6 additional cameras up there. Still got a little tweaking to do as far as minor adjustments, more visibility one way or another, and moving them up and down. But we just got those hooked up last night, and pretty excited about it. I can show you on my phone. Sarah and I can both see them from our phones and our iPads, and I think that's it's been something I've tried to get done since May or June, but it's just taken forever to make it happen. And once again, the install for that was done through a donation.
That's great. So not counting blind spots, is that whole park under camera view now? Or is it just the north side?
There are still many places where I don't have adequate coverage.
Right.
But I feel like the overall coverage is pretty good.
Right, yeah, I'm not criticizing the coverage we had, I just couldn't remember exactly where. I know that I've seen camera shots from the park before.
Yeah, I didn't really have good coverage up around the shelter and the parking lot on the north side, because everything had to come from my office or the maintenance shop back there in the middle of the park. And this, I'll show you some pictures. The police department can see the 3-way intersection now, and every car that goes across Britton Street.
Good deal. Well, I appreciate your work on that and working on the donations for that as well.
Be beneficial in a lot of ways then.
You're right.
Is there gonna be any kind of signage to tell people that they're on camera, or?
I have them up now.
Oh, do they? Okay.
They're throughout the park.
Oh.
Now, I will say that with guarded optimism, occasionally we see that the signs get tore down. But we do have signs throughout the park that say that you're on video.
I have a compliment. I wanted to let you know, and I forgot to tell you, I went by, and I think I told this in the last meeting, that I went by and saw the paint job on the community park shelter building. It's just really nice.
It is.
It looks sharp. It looks like it's brand new. It's very, very nice looking.
Some days I think I really like it, and other days I think I messed up.
Yeah. I think it looks great.
Yeah, I think it's good.
It's just really bright blue,
Yeah, it's good.
but
It's uplifting.
yeah. But it's bright. Oh my goodness. And we've still not done on that. Our plan is to make the trash cans match the roof. And it seems trivial, but I don't like those nasty, faded, ugly trash cans. So we're painting them.
Alrighty, if there's nothing else to add under miscellaneous, our next meeting will be December 4th, 2025, 5 o'clock here at Town Hall. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Very good. And with that, we are adjourned.
Wow. So this is what I've been working